All right, well, it looks like everyone's here, so let me go ahead and introduce myself and we'll get started here. I'm Justin Wolf, the product manager here at FuturePoint Systems. And this webinar will show everyone the new features that we have in the latest release of Starlight, which is 4.1.1. This came out about a month ago, and we've had a few people starting to use it, so hopefully the rest of you have either seen the press release or at least have read a little bit about it. Just for those of you unfamiliar with our company, I just wanted to give you a brief introduction to FuturePoint Systems. We spun out a couple of years ago from the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. We're a commercial company, and we've been working on commercializing the Starlight information visualization system, and it's been under development for about 10 years now. The company itself is venture-backed, and we've got 3 offices here in the United States. We've got one here in Richland, which is the main office in Richland, Washington. We've got a small office in Reston, Virginia. It serves the D.C. area. And then we also have another office down in Mountain View, California. We also have a small sales office up in British Columbia, Canada. So we've got a number of customers that are using Starlight currently, both within the government and in the commercial space. And this 4.1.1 release is based primarily on the feedback we've been getting over the last year or so, and have tried to integrate as many of those suggestions as possible. So one of the first new features that I'll talk about here is drag and drop import. If you're familiar with the prior use of Starlight, it was somewhat difficult to get data into Starlight if it wasn't already formatted in XML. So one of the things that we did was enable the Starlight, what used to be called the client, we're now calling it Starlight Viz or VIS, to do is to take files directly from the desktop. So you can drop not only XML files, but also spreadsheets, Word documents, text documents, HTML, that sort of thing. Drop it right onto Starlight, and it will kick off the import process and show up directly into your project. We also do basic entity extraction on text documents. So we have the ability for Word and PowerPoint, PDF documents, and the like to not only pull out names and places. We've also included for those customers of ours that are interested in terrorism type related things. We have terrorist organizations and terrorist leaders that are also extracted, and also basic relationships that are created based on the relationships detected within the document. We also have a new mode of operation, which is the standalone mode. Starlight no longer requires that it be connected to a Starlight server in the back end. We still sell and maintain that product. It's called the Starlight Workgroup server now. But if you want to operate without a server, then you can just fire up the client and get started directly into a project with loading the data through drag and drop, and all of the same functionality exists without the server. It's just that it now is a single user that can use the data. And however, it is possible to share these projects by emailing them to each other or putting them on a file share or other way of distributing the files. We also have a new reporting mechanism. Prior to this release, the only way to get information out of Starlight was either as a spreadsheet or XML, or as a screenshot of the visualizations individually. But now the web reporting feature allows people to click a button on the view and have a redistributable set of HTML and images and data and such that could either be zipped up and sent to someone, and they could view it with a web browser, or it could be put on some sort of a web server or a file share somewhere, and people could take a look at those, or can take a look at those reports on their own time. And the last thing here is the Knowledge Manager. We've included a basic link chart functionality within Starlight. This is very similar, if you've used Starlight before, it's very similar to the network view, only it's both automatic and manual mode. So automatic, obviously, is what it implies. It gets all of the links from the data itself. But in manual mode, you can place objects and links on the link chart or in the Knowledge Manager on your own, and then associate record sets or sets of data with those objects, so that you can start to document things that start to document things that you're finding within the data. It has a simplified semantic system with it. There's some basic icons for people and organizations, places, buildings, that sort of thing. But it doesn't have a fully featured, overwhelming ontology that you might see in other link charting applications. So with that, I'll get started on the demo here in a couple minutes. I just wanted to leave these email addresses up for a second so that you could take a look at them if you want to write them down. If you're interested in more information about buying or getting a demo of the product itself, then send an email to sales@futurepointsystems.com. And if you want to contact me directly, I'm the product manager, and so if it's sales related, I'll probably pass you on, but if it's more product related with your current experiences with the product, then feel free to give me an email directly at jjwolf@futurepointsystems.com. All right, so here we have Starlight. It looks just the same as 4.1. So if you've been using Starlight since version 4 or 4.1, this is the interface that you're familiar with. The ribbon at the top is where we've collected a lot of the functionality, and there's a few things that have changed or have been added with this new version, and we'll kind of go through those as they come across. But since I'm assuming that most of you are familiar with Starlight, or at least have seen it in the past, I'm not going to go into a very deep demonstration or explanation of the features. We have the data tab also, which is has the ability to load maps here and do things with value sets and semantic mapping is one of the new icons here under Manage Data. And I'll show you how that works here in a little bit. Our import plugins, of course, and then the export view. This used to be a set of several icons or tools for exporting data and the views. So right now it's just the single button, and it works you through a wizard to export however you want it. And then we have the window tab over here, which doesn't have really much on it. All right, so one of the first things we'll start here with this demo. It's kind of centered around the embassy attacks that happened last year, and so this set of data is just a fairly lightweight set of data that we'll be using to explore the product a little bit here. But this topic view is something that is very familiar to Starlight users. So if if you're used to looking at this, you know that the topic clusters here are they sort of talk about what the documents are in each one of these clusters. So we have a set of documents here, obviously talking about the embassy bombing, this person who was killed here. And we've also got some other documents that are laying around in this same set of data. So we've got some stuff over here on hotel in Islamabad and et cetera. All right, so one of the first things I'm going to do here just to start playing with the data is I'm going to use what's called a concept search. And I want to pull up all the documents that are related to the embassy attack. So here we go. We've got a set of 58 that Starlight said was related to that, and we've got I'll just pull up the standard here, so you can see the data that was collected from the internet on this and all the text. So we could be reading through this, but rather than bore you with all the details, we'll just kind of do the easy thing here. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you the knowledge manager. So this is one of the major new things that we've done.